It was like every fifth house that we saw, we would be interested and then it would be gone or it would just like disappear.
I'm Alexandra.
And I'm Emmett.
And this is how we bought our house in the Hudson Valley for $325,000.
The square footage of this home is 1,400 and we have 4 bedrooms and 1 bath.
I had been saving money for 10 years and my goal was to buy property. I just knew that I wanted my money to go towards something.
It was just a dream. And I don't think that I would have ever been able to do it alone. And it wasn't until meeting you and us having like a similar vision that we were like, yeah, let's do this together.
This is a sliding barn door for our bathroom. And originally there was a normal door here that went into the bathroom, but because that took up space in the bathroom, we decided to replace it with a barn door that we DIY'd. I had 10% of $280K in my bank. I had more than that. And I didn't want to drain my savings for the down payment or closing costs or any other expenses. Our original checklist was character, yard space, community, a studio for him, and an office for me.
Good bones.
Good bones.
One of the most important things I think was we wanted a house with good bones that wasn't going to completely fall apart on us. The market in the Hudson Valley alone in the last like 2 years, it's gone up so much that like what we thought we could afford that would be move-in ready or something that we would at least be a turnkey was not what we thought.
Yeah, the houses that were in like our original budget range of around 280K, they needed major work. Those homes that we were looking at that looked really nice in the photos, when we went to them, they were not good.
Not in good shape. We saw probably 20-ish houses and we put offers, I think, on 3 of them.
The first house that we put an offer in on was this adorable 2-story house that was built, I think, in the late 1800s.
Yeah, late 1800s.
And we loved the character of it. It had like a little front porch. It had, you know, like molding, and it
big backyard.
Big backyard. It also had a commercial space tied to it. We thought we could maybe convert the commercial space into his studio, or maybe one day we could.
2 studios, too.
2
like
studios,
it was
yeah.
big enough to do kind of whatever we wanted with it. After going through all the
logistics.
Hoops and logistics, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been like tough to get approved for a mortgage because of the commercial space actually. And we actually ended up getting a mold inspection and there was mold in the house. So that's the main reason why we pulled out.
When we found this house, like when we pulled up to it, we loved it right away. Everything about it was like really cute. The whole neighborhood felt really quiet. I think when we just got our first tour, we were immediately just in love with it. We just fell in love with the bones of it and the structure and the way that it was built out immediately.
Yeah, and I think the natural light too. It was just like, felt so open compared to all the other houses that we were seeing. We were getting way more for our money. This house was listed at $290, I think, right?
$295, yeah.
$295. We put an offer in, I think, like that day. We did a 10% down payment. Our realtor called us and said, can you go any higher with your down payment? Like, he said there was someone else competing. We don't really know if that was true or not. Oh, they had to appraise our house to make sure that the mortgage that they give us is a good investment for them. So that was a waiting game because we had to wait for the appraisal. So
a lot of things that you don't know.
Yeah. Then once the contract was signed by both parties, which took a lot of negotiation with attorneys, realtors, then it was getting the mortgage company involved. And then it was the down payment. And then it was the mortgage being figured out. We went with a standard mortgage, not a first-time homebuyer mortgage, mostly so that we could get our offer accepted because it was like more appealing to the seller. And also with a regular mortgage, you can get a better interest rate. And I really, like, interest rates were really, really good when we were looking for a house. And I really wanted to like secure that like low interest rate. The final sale price of this home was $325K. The down payment was 15%, which was around $48,000.
Yeah.
And the closing costs were an additional $9,000. Spending all that money for me was okay because I had money sitting in my savings for close to 10 years. And I know that's like, if you're a financial advisor, you're probably like, why were you doing that? But I was just like holding on to it and waiting to invest it.
When it comes to decorating and furnishing, I really didn't have a choice. I kind of had to go with her, but I did sign off on everything in the house because she has immaculate taste.
Thank you.
So one of my favorite rooms of the house is the living room. Most of all the decorating and design is fronted by Alexandra, but this is just like the best room for immediate sunlight right when you wake up. Like I can just come out here with my coffee and sun will just pour in and you get your dose for the day, basically right in the morning.
Most of the furniture in our house is vintage because I love sourcing vintage furniture. Like this couch is from Facebook Marketplace, but in Tennessee, and we like drove it up. My dresser was free on Facebook Marketplace. I just had to pay for a U-Haul. Your dresser was like $75.
So this is our guest bedroom, which is temporarily my music studio, creative kind of room. This was really just a setup so that when we first moved in, I had a place to work and to keep things moving. But eventually, we're gonna turn this into a beautiful guest bedroom. The biggest unexpected thing about owning a home for me, and possibly you as well, was running into safety hazards that your inspector didn't catch or didn't even bother to mention.
Yeah.
Also running into plumbing hazards or things that aren't up to code, things that are failing.
We've spent around $40,000 on the renovations, but most of that is home equity loan and credit card that has 0% APR financing for an extended period of time. So we haven't really spent that money yet, but eventually that'll be how much we pay off. We decided to redo the bathroom and it took much longer than we anticipated because we did a DIY style, which I'm really glad we did actually because we learned so much. We didn't have like a working bathroom when we first moved in here. Okay, supposedly this is a life hack.
See if this works.
Okay, go.
There we go, baby. But we're glad we did it because now we have like a sparkling fresh, everything's new in the bathroom.
And it's just so much more our taste.
Every tile we put on ourselves, all the grouting, all the like everything, all the whole layout. So this is the upstairs studio. We're gonna be moving my music studio from downstairs up here. And as you can see, it's still under construction. We're waiting for new shipments of wood to come in. We have the subfloor right here. Before all of this, we actually ended up finding a asbestos tile in here, some 9x9s, which we had no idea even existed until we found them and it was already too late. I did most of the remediation myself, and then we had professionals come in and take it all out. And then I came back up here myself and did all new subfloors and hardwood. I think that we wanted to stick with DIY because one, we can't afford to hire contractors. And two, I think that there's something that really goes into working on your own house and getting to know it and understanding what came out and what was put back in and all the sweat equity that comes with it.
This is our kitchen. This is the one room that we haven't done any work to. We want to eventually gut renovate the entire thing. We'll probably do that more like next year when we have a little bit more money saved up. There are a few things in this kitchen that we can't wait to fix. The drawers back here kind of hit each other. You know, the feng shui is a little off. And then also these counters, while they look nice from a distance, are actually like contact paper on top of a white counter. I had a fun moment and peeled it all off of that counter back there and then realized that was the wrong decision. So we're gonna keep the contact paper until we, you know, gut renovate the whole kitchen.
One unexpected thing about this house that we ran into was using oil to heat our house. The oil bill every month was around $450 to $500. Now this is all electric. So the cost for the heat pump installation was around 22 grand, but for the New York State rebate is around 6 to 8 grand. So that's also a huge dent in the overall cost.
This is my office. It's on the second floor of our house. Having an office space was on my checklist because I want to make sure that I can not disrupt the whole house with my work and also just get some privacy during my work day. My favorite thing about this space is the natural light, the brand new hardwoods that we put in. We went with a white oak, so they're really light and refreshing. I just love the space. I think it's really peaceful.
We were willing to go to a certain threshold,
Yeah.
and what we ended up spending on this house was our threshold.
Yes,
Yeah.
we didn't go beyond our threshold. We did have to pivot and come up with like backup plans, which one of those was getting a home equity loan. In order to get a house, you have to say bye to your cash. Just like you said at the beginning, you wouldn't have been able to buy a house without me. Like, same. I couldn't buy the house without him.